gotta be careful with this Twitter, man. I've been messing with this Twitter with you, and y'all set me up with some questionable things. I can't just be having it pop up on my feed.
Tell me about it. Yeah, you can't just go scrolling through Twitter on in the open, son, like that, son. Like you could just have like a, CNN. There's an earthquake in Turkey, and then you scroll down two posts, and there's just some chick getting railed.
And here we go.
You want to be like? Sensitivity equals fucking poverty.
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Check it out, homie.
Guys, welcome to episode 151 of Insensitive Culture. As always, you know me.
What's up, what?
On the other end is...
And that fool Blazer, Ramon.
On the other end is not... But we still are.
Insensitive Culture, the podcast. Make sure you check it out, homie.
Dave is back. Dave is back. And that clap is for you, my friend. How's the Cali life treating you all 1 week that you've been away?
Yo, it's been different, honestly. Like I know I've been here a couple of times, just flying out and staying for a few weeks here and there. But living here is different. Like right now, I still feel like I'm on vacation. Like it doesn't feel like I've moved yet. Mostly because we're staying in this like corporate apartment that is all furnished. So it's like none of our shit. It's not my bed. It's different hotel sheets, and the pillows are super fluffy like they always are. And I don't really like fluffy pillows. I'm more of like a solid pillow guy. So it hasn't really sunk in yet. I think we should be getting a place pretty soon, like an actual place where they'll bring all of our shit and it'll feel more like home. But no, the weather's been good. The drivers are whack. And the food is open really, really late. So that's
nice.
That's pretty dope. You don't really see that a lot back home anymore. I mean, post Pando, everything seems like it closes mad early. But out here, I don't know if it recently switched up. But, even In-N-Out's open till like 1 a.m. every day. Damn. Which is dope. So like regardless, if you're hungry, as long as it's not past 1, you could always crush some In-N-Out, and them bitches are everywhere too.
That sucks, man. That sucks that we don't get that here. Everywhere else seems like they've gone to pretty much normal after COVID. But, the good ROC, everything is shut down mad early. Like they just took advantage of that and ran with it. So I'm upset.
Even like pizza places, bro. You can't, in the Rock, bro, you can't get a pizza after like 10 o'clock anywhere. Shit's just closed the fuck down. Sucks.
Yo, and everything is skyrocketing, son. Everything is crazy. I went, I ordered pizza for the fam this past weekend. I know, bro. I did. It was a medium cheese pizza, nothing on it, right? 10 wings with sauce on them and 5 without sauce because my daughter, that's how she likes her wings, no sauce. So 15 wings, $50, bro.
Damn. Medium pizza,
yeah, exactly.
No toppings, 15 wings, $50.
$50. I was like, damn, bro. And then that didn't include the tip. So I'm like, yeah, I know. It's crazy. And it wasn't like I ordered through Grubhub. I like called the pizza spot. They delivered it. It was insane. It was insanity. Like I expected through Grubhub.
Yeah.
But and I was just like cringing at the thought of actually ordering it through Grubhub. Like how much that would have been.
Yeah. They tack on another $20.
Bro. Word. It's not, I thought I even asked them, I was like, yo, you have any combos? Because remember, that was a thing. Yeah. Like a combo deal?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's a thing of the past.
Where was this? Can you say the spot or was it?
Salvatore's.
Okay. Damn.
So
really? No combos? I always thought they had mad combos, bro. They was like
always
Domino's
had combos. Yeah. They always did. It's either that or I just got to find a new pizza spot. But whatever, dude.
No, pizza.
Glad to see that.
Expensive.
Glad to see that you've acclimated to the West Coast life, and now we're doing the show in different ways. Mm-hmm. So we might we might fail. We kind of failed a little bit before we actually hit record on the show. No. But everything panned out. We're on the show now. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Episode 151.5.
But y'all will never hear that bullshit that we had. Nah, man. But yeah, it's good to see a lot of good things coming up in the next few weeks. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania's next week.
Hearing good shit already, early reviews and shit.
That's what I'm hearing.
I'm hearing all positive things so far.
Same. So I'm mad excited about that. Of course, that is only, since we've already took out the number one thing that we're excited for, I must also remind you all that next week is also Valentine's Day, so that wasn't the memorable thing that we had to bring up. Not at all.
No. Definitely not.
Nah, I'm just messing around. Y'all, you celebrate Valentine's Day like that, bro?
Usually not on Valentine's Day. So, especially if it falls during the week or something along those lines, like I usually will do something maybe the weekend before, the weekend after, sometimes even like maybe a couple weekends after, because even those can be, busy if you try to go out somewhere, because a lot of people do something similar where they're like, oh, we'll just wait because, it's sort of a pain in the ass to go out during the week.
It is a pain in the ass.
But it's not like a huge thing at all.
I think Quantumania is going to be like our night out. Hopefully, like her mom will stay with the kids for a little bit longer or something. We'll do something else afterward. But chances are that's going to be the time that we have to pretty much do anything on our own without kids. So Valentine's Day, what were you saying?
I was going to say that your lady's going with you. It's going to be like a...
Yeah. We're going together.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going... generally, when it comes to those movies, like those type of movies, I just cop 2 tickets and I tell her about it. And then if she wants to go, like, awesome, I have the ticket for you. I'm planning on you going. But if not, then... Or if she can't go, like, comes to the day we can't find a babysitter or anything like that, we just... Like, she'll just stay home with the kids, and I'll either eat the cost of the ticket, or generally, though, I've never had to eat the cost of the ticket.
I was going to say, that's a lot to just eat, especially when you're dropping $50 on pizza, son.
Yeah, no, it's a $10 ticket, and like I've been saying, like I do the Cinemark Club or the membership or whatever. So I had two free tickets just lined up in there, so I used that for the movie. So it's not that big of a deal, but I haven't had to eat the cost of a ticket yet, because I'll call one of my brothers or something. There's always somebody willing to go, as long as I catch them on time.
Yeah, just need a little heads up. That's all.
Word. So
you always wait in the parking lot. They call it like a miracle ticket. And you're just like, hey, who wants to go see Quantumania?
No, I don't want to sit next to somebody I don't know like that.
What if it's a badass chick?
I'm still, like, I just don't, the only bad chick that I want sitting next to me is my girl. So
you took a page out of Johnny's book. Smart. I like it.
I saw your face just like, oh, okay, good answer.
That was a test, and you passed, my friend. You passed.
Yep. That's all I want. That'll guarantee I have my leg room, my elbow room. Like, I'm good.
Word.
All right. Well, enough of the chit chat. Let's get to question.
Oh, shit. All right. So first question, even though Johnny's not here, he broke us off with this. I think it was just like a Twitter post earlier. He said, the post said, which movie do you think should have a sequel? And I'm assuming that's obviously movies that don't have sequels, but have you seen something where you're like, yo, that was tight, and maybe it was perfect the way it was, and you don't want to spoil it with a sequel? Like, that's part of this. Like, obviously most things don't need a sequel. We always like to ask ourselves, is this necessary? Probably not, but what is something that you can think of where you're like, yo, I could fuck with a sequel like this?
Does it have to be like a one and done movie, or can it be an addition?
It can be an addition. If there's like, if you want like a Terminator 7 or 8 or something like that you just want to sort of tack on to there. But if you feel like there's more story there to be told, fucking A.
I'll definitely do one, and then I'll throw in something else, because I really do want to see a specific movie, not necessarily a sequel. A sequel will be dope, but because of certain circumstances, won't necessarily be a sequel. So I'm thinking more of a remake, but I'll get to that one in a second.
I would allow a prequel as well. I feel like if there's something like, yo, we should have picked off way earlier than this movie's picking up. Like, I want to see what the fuck was happening back there. I'll allow that too.
Okay.
I should have mentioned that earlier so you could think on it a little bit, but do your best.
Yeah, no. Let me see. Honestly, the sequel that I've been wanting to see for a long time, fingers crossed, we are still getting. It was announced a little while ago that we're getting it, and we're still getting it, and I'm excited for it. And that was Constantine. That was one that I've wanted to see a sequel for.
Word.
For a long time, because it was that good. And so far I haven't heard that it's been canceled. So because it was announced.
Yeah.
It was announced by DC before all of the changes and whatnot. So fingers crossed that it's still going.
I literally just saw something today on Twitter from a couple different places. I don't remember the exact source, but it was pretty much saying that the reports of that sort of sequel being killed were overblown, and that it is very much still in the works in DC. What was it that James Gunn said, the other shit that, wasn't core
the
DC?
Elseworlds, yeah.
Elsewhere, yes. I'm assuming that it would fall under that.
Correct.
Just because, it still is going to fuck, but it's not necessarily that sort of core story that James Gunn is trying to roll out. So I'm pretty sure that's still in the works.
You weren't here for that conversation, and that gave us a lot of positive feelings about those projects that are still up in the air, but we knew wouldn't really sync well with whatever the hell James Gunn is planning for DC. And the Elseworlds was just that little nice touch where other movies can happen, and it doesn't have to be a part of the DCU. And the fact that Marvel hasn't done that, they're kind of doing it right now with like what's that called? The what do they call it? The one with Werewolf by Night or
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know.
But that's the first instance where I saw them say, "Hey, this is a Marvel cinematic universe movie. However, it doesn't really have anything to do with anything else." So I don't know. I think
I still haven't watched that.
I
gotta watch that.
It's good. It's really good. It's different for sure. But I like where they went with that. But anyway, back to the question at hand. Because tangent city here.
No, Johnny, we got to make up for the jabbering that Johnny would do.
For the hour and a half news segment. We love you, Johnny. Let's see. No, we'll take it to you, and then I'll throw in the one that I would actually want to see a remake of.
All right. Tell me if you think this is wild. Excuse me. But I'm sorry, even before I start, have you seen There Will Be Blood?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Do you remember? And so obviously I want a prequel to There Will Be Blood. The ending was pretty final for the most part. So I really don't see that story getting told more. But at the beginning, you see Daniel Plainview working with his homie or whatever. They're mining in that big hole. Homeboy falls and breaks his leg, and the other dude is dead. So they found all that oil, I'm pretty sure, is what they found in there. And Daniel Day-Lewis is there down at the bottom of that pit with a broken leg. And then pretty much it just cuts to him back in town, in a bed, healing. I want to see and I want to know what the fuck happened. Because, I mean, that journey that he had to take... What do you mean?
How much time from... Did they even... Because I can't remember. It's been a while. But that time from the well to that bed, like, how much time was that?
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know how long it took him. How did he get the fuck out of the hole? Did he crawl back to this town? Like, my dude had a broken fucking leg. That right there, and I've read articles about that particular scene, who felt pretty much the same way that I feel. Like, I feel like that right there is honestly its own story. Just imagine yourself at the bottom of a 30-foot thing with a broken leg, and you need to get to it. It was desolate. Like, even when they panned around that area, bro, you didn't see any fucking cities or anything. Like, there was no civilization anywhere. So, like, I would have liked a prequel, even if it led up to that. Maybe that part of him breaking the leg and getting back to the city or wherever he could get help would be would be sort of the finale or the end of the movie, the third act. But just like a young Daniel Plainview, like, that character I fucking adore. And I feel like that would be a sick prequel to know what the fuck he was doing and what the fuck happened. How did you get out of there, bro? How did you not pass out from the fucking pain of a broken leg? Like, his shit was fucked up, dude. And he got to that, like, he healed up and he became, a fucking oil tycoon. We know how that story ends, but but everything up until that point, bro, I want to know what was up. And, it doesn't even have to be, I don't even think, no, I mean, it does have to be Daniel Day-Lewis. No one else is going to play Daniel Plainview, but yeah, that's mine. I mean, that's something that
especially because that's, like, not necessarily a prequel. It's the movie within the movie.
Yeah.
or the short within the movie, depending on how that experience went. But
right.
I just thought of another prequel that would be dope as you were explaining that.
Let's get it.
Training Day.
Ooh, a young Alonzo Harris coming up.
Young Alonzo and how he became corrupted.
Ooh, that's fire. Like, it'd be him. He would be Jake. And, like, something happened to turn him into, the Alonzo that we saw, that we know. Bro, that's the winner right there. That's dope. I wish I thought of that shit. You just thought of that right now? Live on this shit?
Yeah, while you were talking.
Dope. I talk too long. I'd be talking too long, so I give you too much time to sound brilliant as a motherfucker.
That would be a movie that I would love to see, and they can even get his son to play him.
That would be tight. That would be tight. Damn. So, yeah, no, that's a really good one. Even all those characters that we meet, in Training Day, you could have younger versions of them. Maybe like how they met up.
Because they were the ones that were showing him the ropes and obviously got him into the situation where he is, where now he's just like, well, fuck it. They eating, I'm gonna eat too.
Imagine a young,
that would bank.
Yellow Alonzo that's trying to follow the rules and shit. That's crazy.
That would bank if they did it right. If they did it right and they got a good cast, a good director, or the original. Because who wrote that?
I don't know who wrote it, but didn't
we were just talking about it the other day.
Directed it, right?
Yeah, I believe so, but I know that Ayer had something. I think he co-wrote it or something.
I feel like you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So David Ayer wrote it, and Anton Fuqua directed it. So yeah, they get that team together, and they do it right.
Oof.
I think that could be a good story. The movie that I thought I want to see it's not going to happen because the director came out and said that there will never be another one while he's alive because he can only see another sequel one way, and there's no possible way for that to happen. And that's Back to the Future. Zemeckis came out and said that there won't be another sequel because the only way he would do a sequel is with Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. And obviously Michael J. Fox cannot reprise that role of Marty. So,
I mean, do you think with technology they could? I mean, we can make
it's still
Bob
not
De
going to
Niro
be him
look,
though,
right?
because he there's no way that he can act. You know what I mean?
What about a deep fake? What if you deep faked?
But that's what I mean. It would be a deep fake.
Right,
Someone else acting.
They're pretty convincing.
He can't even voice the character.
Yeah.
You know, it would be rough. That would be like, oh.
Yeah, we saw him at Comic-Con. I mean, we didn't physically see him at Comic-Con, but we saw what his condition at Comic-Con. It wasn't great. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't great. So, but if done correctly, if Robert Zemeckis decided, okay, I want to remake this for brand new, for current times, but I want to do it, I'd be so into that.
I would fuck with that 100%. Yeah, no, I fuck
Yeah.
with all those Back to the Future movies and Christopher Lloyd, dude. I'm a big Christopher Lloyd fan.
Same. He could still play Doc.
Hell yeah, bro, he's got it still. My man's doing.
He could
doing
still play
all right. Just poor Michael J. Fox. And yeah, I wouldn't want to see anybody else, reprise that or have that recast or even the deep fake thing. Like I'm sure it could work, but we would know. It would feel weird. Feel like cheating on your girl.
Robert Zemeckis has to die before anyone would remake that.
I mean,
that's
he's
why you
pretty
haven't
old.
seen,
I don't think that's.
He
I don't
is.
think that's
He
too
is.
far
I'm just
out,
saying.
bro.
I'm just saying. He said he would, like, while he's alive, he's not going to have another one. So
just one more.
He won't give the rights for it.
For good measure, I thought of one while you were talking. Actually, I was still listening though too. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't zoning.
Bullshit.
That's bullshit. I want a sequel to the OG Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka in the show. I want to know how Charlie Bucket ran that motherfucking place after he took it over, after his family moved in. Like, I want to see him sort of become the Willy Wonka, if you will. That could be that could be wild. And like I said, that's I have that nostalgia. Johnny and I have that nostalgia for that chick because we watched it like a motherfucker growing up. I feel like that would be, and I think there was like Roald Dahl. He wrote a sequel to that book. Like I think it was Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. But as a kid,
right. That's what I was just looking up.
Yeah. No, it's out there, and I did not read it, so maybe that would satisfy my desire for a new one. But like, it's obviously too late. Like I would want because that dude that played Charlie Bucket, he is not acting anymore. Like that was literally one of the only movies that he did, and he went and became a vet somewhere in New York, actually. Like, I don't know, maybe central New York. So I feel like it was somewhere in the Northeast, like sort of close to us. So he didn't even keep acting at all. But like, I always thought, what happens after this? Because, you watch a movie so much, and especially as a kid, and you're like, man, I want more of that. And even as an adult, I'm like, yo, I want to see how Charlie got down. Was he a dick? Did he end up having to do the same thing? Maybe that could be the sequel that gets mad far in the future. And now he has to do another sort of golden ticket type situation to get someone else in that motherfucker. And how does that go?
See, the Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, the reason why it hasn't been done, it's because it's just like, it's a continuation of the story, but he's still a kid. It's about Charlie Bucket and Willy Wonka traveling in the Great Glass Elevator around the United Kingdom and stuff. So or traveling the world in that elevator for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's not. What I
but
wanna
it's
see.
like just an immediate, and that I don't think that's why it's never been adapted because it's
Right.
like
Who gives a shit?
Right, exactly.
Dude flying around
Now,
with a
if
little
he-
kid.
Now, if he descends into madness and, I want to see a twisted. I want to see a twisted Willy Wonka. That'd be dope.
I mean, yeah.
Where
I
it's
mean,
like because it was like dark undertones to Willy Wonka.
yeah. I mean, those kids
but-
were getting fucked up, bro.
Right. And that's what I mean. Like there were dark undertones to that.
I want to see him
And,
go to court. So now, like Charlie, he runs the factory. Now he's catching those lawsuits from all the parents that just got their kids
I wanna
fucked up
see-
in the
I
factory.
want to see the dark horror version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, where everyone is happy to be going in here into this chocolate factory, and then when they get locked in,
It's like Saw.
like it's just a twisted, twisted psychedelic joyride.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how the first one was. It had its psychedelic, weird, scary part. You remember the boat scene? That scares everyone to this day.
Well, you know what I mean. It's like Brightburn is what if the premise of that is what if Superman was evil.
Right.
Instead
What if
of
Charlie
being like this
Bucket? What if
wholesome-
Charlie Bucket was evil? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
what if Willy Wonka was like, we exaggerate because we know that he's a sadistic motherfucker.
For sure.
But what if he was a sadistic, psychotic, like, a psychopath to the point of like, this is like, holy shit, we're here and we did not know that this was going on in here.
He's
But
like, Dahmer.
it's the story. It's the story, but just not colorized for kids and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like that, just showing everyone how sick and demented. Like, I'm not a fan of him as a filmmaker, but just to kind of give it a little bit more emphasis on what I'm talking about is like if it's a Rob Zombie version of Willy Wonka.
Okay.
You know what I mean? How
Yeah,
he
yeah.
makes shit dark.
Yeah, that House of a Thousand
Twisted.
Corpses vibe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't want Rob Zombie to do it because I don't really like the first Halloween was good. Then
Yeah.
that shit.
And
When
House
they
of a
gave him
Thousand
freedom.
Corpses was good. Halloween and House of a Thousand Corpses, I thought those were good. And then everything else was just like,
Yeah.
okay, we get it. You're Rob Zombie. It's got to be metal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, not a fan.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, buddy. You know I got that. Was only the first question, son.
That was only the first
Got you.
question. Fuck.
All right.
Holy shit.
Would you rather lose a leg or never be able to have sex again? I know.
Jeez.
I know it's I mean, obviously you're going to lose a leg, right? You're not going to not have sex again. Am I correct?
I kind of like my leg.
I'll tell you what, if you keep your legs, you can still jerk off. Chicks can still jerk you off and they can still blow you, but there's no actual penetration. There's no sex. Are you okay with that? So you can run like a motherfucker, but you ain't fucking.
I don't run now.
That's what I'm saying. So then what you missing out on?
Nah. Yeah, I'd have to say let's lose that leg.
So I'll give it to you at the knee. I'll give it to you at the knee. You can from the knee
that's what
down.
I mean. It's like
you pick the leg.
there's a lot of miracles out there and a lot of fine machinery that would make that one bum leg look all right. You'll be walking around just fine. Once you get once you get past the fact that you're missing a leg, it's just like life moves on.
I mean, yeah, what choice do you have? You're not going to just become like a recluse and not do anything. Like, you got to get out there. I would want a Blade Runner leg. You know, like the Blade Runner, like the paraplegic. No, not, is it paraplegic? Like whatever the Olympics is, where like the dudes run and if they're missing their legs, they have like those blades that like bounce when they run. Like
that's what they use for
If I
running.
could get a blade on my missing leg, I feel like that would be tight.
Yeah, that's what they make for specifically for running.
Mm-hmm.
So that you have that bounce.
Right.
Yeah.
Does it have to be for
Yeah,
running, or could I just rock it like normally?
You could rock it. I think it would be hard for you to put jeans on and stuff like that. Like you'd be in shorts all day long.
Fucking long ass fucking blade that's like
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
3 feet long and shit. Yeah, it's gonna be.
You'll have to roll up. You'll have to LL Cool J the one pant leg. Roll.
I do that now.
Roll up that one. You look like you do that now.
I was about to pull my pant leg up and just whip my leg up here and be like, check that out.
Fucking hairy stick figure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it. Just take the leg.
Take the leg. Do you have a preference on which leg should be taken?
Oh, for some reason I'm thinking I don't really think like it matters, but for some reason I'd say take the left.
Just because it's not your dominant leg.
I guess so. Just because I'm right-handed and everything is dominant on the right. Yeah, take that left leg.
That's fair. I was thinking the same thing. I mean, yeah, I'm giving up a leg. I don't. If I can just find a chick that wants to still bang while I'm missing a leg,
yeah,
then I'm Gucci.
I see it on all the time on the internet, man.
That's what you're into?
No, I'm just saying. I didn't say in porn. But there's always a hot chick, and then she'll like show her man, and her man for some reason, when you're missing a leg, make it a thing.
We know what he picked.
Yeah, fuck it. We know what he picked. The only thing that I can think of that would be a struggle is how heavy I am. I'd have to lose mad weight so that I can manage on this thing.
Is it going to be tougher to lose weight with one leg?
Oh man, I just have to starve myself. It's going to be tougher to like lift weights and shit.
Yeah.
Work out, get cardio done. But they even have, if you go to the gym, they have a machine for that, where your cardio is with your arms. So you just you go up to this thing, and it looks like if you look at it, it looks like it's pedals, but you're doing it with your arms. You just do that the entire time and stuff. So there are ways for you to do cardio. Okay. Get your heart rate up. So I don't think it'll be that hard. I think it's more of a tough mental obstacle to pass in order to get to that point.
I'm feeling you on the left leg though, just driving wise, because I mean my right foot is obviously the driving foot, and like I feel like I would.
Good point.
I would absolutely get into an accident if I had to all of a sudden just start using my left foot. Like just thinking about using my left foot while I'm driving makes me feel very, very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that now. It used to make me feel very uncomfortable. I have an aunt that uses both legs to drive.
I knew you were going to fucking say that. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know how she does that shit.
I would fuck that up too. I'd be like, oh, this is the gas foot? Nope. Brake. Smash.
Yep.
Dead. And then I'd be missing a leg anyway. Jerking. I'd lose my other fucking leg in an accident trying to drive with that bitch.
Yep. There are cycles out here, man.
Oh, that's facts.
I happen to have an aunt that's a psychotic person. Driving with both feet.
I would be afraid to even try that. Like, have you ever hit one of the pedals with your left foot?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Now, I don't know. When you're starting,
just fucking around.
When you're starting to drive.
Let me see how this is. Shit.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, But my dad always told me, you just use one leg to drive. So now it's like that leg doesn't even go near. It's like tucked in. It's like tucked back.
Yeah. Honestly, my shit is, I don't know. I do this weird thing when I'm driving where it's not like, because I know you said, I think it was you who said like your girl like puts her leg like up, her left leg up, or you knew somebody that did.
Yeah. My girl does that sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not that crazy with it, but like I feel like my left leg is really like against the fucking door, like in the back corner. Like it's just buried back there, and it doesn't fucking move until I get to my destination. And it's like a subconscious thing. Like I don't even try.
Yeah.
It's just,
I thought it was odd when I first noticed my girl doing that, but now, you know, just living with her and stuff, that's her comfort thing. When she's just sitting down at the table, just like doing some like work or something, she always has that one leg, her left leg up, you know,
Gotcha.
So, and just sitting like right here.
it's just a natural
So I
thing.
think that's her natural spot. So that's just her getting comfortable in the car. But it's still like I wouldn't be able to do that shit.
I'd be
Yeah,
afraid as a
take that fucking
motherfucker.
left leg. Take that shit. All right. What's the last question?
Last question. Would you rather have Cheeto fingers or wet socks for the next 24 hours? Only 24 hours. It's not a permanent thing. Cheeto
I
fingers
would rather
or
have
wet socks?
Wet socks.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate wet socks, bro.
I hate wet socks. It's uncomfortable. You're squishing around and shit. Like it's just it's uncomfortable. But I hate having my hands dirty to that extent. Like even most of the time, like how I eat chips
Yeah.
is like I pop open the bag and I like shove like
Yeah.
drop them. Yeah, like I try to avoid eating with my fingers too much, especially
Right.
if it like cakes on. As a kid, I loved it because you
You just munch
lick
that
it,
shit
you know?
off. Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah. But as an adult, I'm like it's something about I can't really I don't like eating with my hands that often unless it's something like pizza or you know wings you have to crush with sauce. But even then it's like these two fingers.
Yeah,
Like
that's it.
That's it.
Just
It's isolated to these two fingers. These two fingers are the only fingers that are allowed to get saucy.
what happens if the other ones get saucy? Do they?
I
get in
feel so
trouble?
uncomfortable, man. I gotta go wash my hands, dude. It's
Have you ever
weird.
seen? There's like I've seen like online like these little like finger claws that you can like put on and wear when you're eating like ribs
No,
or
I'm not.
wings or
I'm
something
not
like
a
that.
fucking psychopath, dude. Like I understand I have my things, but that's psychotic. Like I'm not. No, I'm not putting fucking rubber condoms on my fingers
Yeah,
to keep
no,
them.
that's
You know.
That's fair. That's fair. Honestly, I thought of like when you said that when you normally eat chips, you like are normally just trying to go from the bag so that you don't get your fingers out. I do the exact same thing with Smart Food white cheddar popcorn because I don't know what it is about that white cheddar. You can eat like 3 pieces before all of a sudden there's a fucking layer on your entire goddamn hand while you're eating that shit. Like you said, when you're a kid, it's dope. That's a second snack that you get to munch off when your popcorn's gone. But as an adult, fucking with COVID and shit, bro, I'm rarely licking my fingers. Like I don't give a fuck what it is. Like it's tempting. Like I used to even bite my nails like all the time. It was a crazy habit. And then I was like, yo, like there's mad germs in there, bro. Like what are you doing? That's the grossest shit you could ever do. So but at the same time, bro, wet socks.
Yeah.
Like you get out of the shower,
Wet
you're
socks
feeling
suck.
fresh, you put your socks on, and all of a sudden you step in like some snow water near the door or something, and it's like your whole shit is ruined at that point. I almost feel like I need to take another shower.
You know what? But the wet socks, it would be annoying for sure. But I think you can get past it because no one else can see that. So it's just something you're personally dealing with and don't necessarily have to involve anyone else or, deal with comments or anything else. Like it's literally just you walking around with fucking squishy socks. Like, and it sucks. But you can't do anything if you have Cheeto fingers.
Right. Can't go to the store. You can't shake someone's hand.
Shit.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, anything you touch, your white tee, if you got a white tee on, you're fucked.
Yeah. Exactly. Anything like any black tea. That shit is
no, that's unless it's literally a Cheeto. I would wear a Cheeto orange jumpsuit, son, so that like my whole shit was orange. I could touch whatever the fuck I want. Yeah, I just rubbed that whole shit. But even that, no matter how much you rubbed it, bro, you're still gonna have
typing
Cheeto
on the
all
computer.
over your shit. What was that?
Typing on a computer?
Oh
Horrible.
yeah, no, I would have to use a PC for sure.
It just nah.
Yeah,
I'm good.
no, I think
I'll deal with wet socks.
I think you changed my mind. I was gonna go Cheeto fingers, but you're right. There's literally, I mean, without making a mess, like you could not give a fuck and say, all right, y'all are about to get Cheeto all over your shit right now because look at this shit.
It.
But yeah, I'm not a dick like that. So like, that's not how I would want to get down. I would man up for 24 hours and go with the socks. What if it was longer than 24 hours though? Let's say it's a month. You have a month of Cheeto fingers or a month of wet socks. It's got to be the same, right? Because the fingers is just such an inconvenience.
Yeah, it's got to be the same. The only thing I think of about is like the we're getting too technical here, but you know how you can't be underwater for X amount of time or else that shit would like eat away at your skin tissue and shit.
Yeah, it'll get mad wrinkly
thinking,
and you get
that's what I'm thinking might end up happening on your feet.
That's true.
It's past the annoyance. It's just
now it's a medical condition and you need to seek actual help for it. Yeah. That's what happened Vietnam when they would just walk around. They trench foot. I think it's called trench foot when your shit is like wet for too long and the skin starts coming. Yeah, that's not good, son.
That's why I'm like, I can't. Being annoyed is one thing, like, but I'd probably like unless like you just take off your socks and you're fine. And every time you put on your shoes and your socks, it's just
because you have one leg. If you have one leg, it's only one wet sock compared to two.
Then I have to go
two
Cheeto
hands.
Because I can't risk that other leg.
I can't risk that. Yeah, you get trench foot on your one good leg, and now you're a full on Blade Runner, son. You got all them blades.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good on that. See how you had to evolve that just to get me to go the other way?
Yeah, I just wanted to see. I want to see like how could I get him to go for the trench foot?
What would it take to get him to change his fucking mind?
Just making you think. These are thinkers here we got, bud.
Let's see. How about this? Right, I'm gonna throw in. Let me see. Since we were talking about Willy Wonka, there's another. I'll throw in another question here. If you were in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, how would you get kicked out?
Good question. I'm not going into the chocolate river.
No.
I think are we talking about like do I have to pick from like how those kids went out? Like which one of them would be me?
No, I mean no, not necessarily. I mean, you've seen the atmosphere that they have there, like not all of them were tempted by everything, but mainly like what are the things you are tempted by that would make you be like, well, I'm about to risk it all. Cause you about to get caught if you risk it.
Facts. I think honestly, like of any of them, like I would have drank the fizzy lifting drink. Yeah. And I would have not known to burp, and I probably would have got chopped up in that fan. Ooh. Honestly, like I think that's what would have happened. Like I would have been too curious because, we've always wanted to fly and like have that sort of, just that feeling. Like, I think that would be the dopest, but I don't think I would have a smart Grandpa Joe there to be like, yo, just burp, bro, just burp and you're good. You won't get murked by this massive fucking set of blades that is just spinning at the top. So like, I think, and it necessarily doesn't have to be fizzy lifting drink. I feel like I would want to try something that I shouldn't and it would just have some negative consequences that would fuck my shit up. Like I'm too curious like that. So like I don't think I would get zapped by a TV, and I'm definitely not drowning in a chocolate river. But yeah, I'm gonna get into something that I shouldn't have. Maybe it's, honestly, I could fall for the Violet Beauregard fucking gum and be like, oh yeah, I should munch this because this is some wild shit here, and I end up getting turned into a blueberry. So yeah, my curiosity would get the best of me for sure.
Yeah, I would probably get. I have a sweet tooth, so like for candy, and I know I'd probably we'd be in some sort of jungle setting, and like if the vines coming down are made of like nerd ropes or shit like that, like that's where I'd be like, oh shit, and I'd have to eat one.
And then
it would have to be something like that, or something like a gummy based something, because I love gummy bears.
Those big gummy bears, bro. Those
I don't even know if the big ones are good. I've never had a big gummy bear.
I've never had a big gummy bear.
Right, but if I came across anything with like gummy bears or, like I said, vines made out of like nerd ropes and stuff, I'd be like, oof, I gotta try that.
But then those nerd ropes vines snatch you up and they pull you in and just fucking munch you. So yeah, you're getting munched by a nerd's rope tree is what it sounds like.
Yeah. See me all just like wrapped up in nerd rope.
Like, just try. That's some fucking saw shit. Yeah, dude, that kind of
Oompa Loompas come in and sing their song, and yeah,
we need to write a song for that.
No, I wouldn't even try it right now.
That's fair. That's fair.
No, that was the only. Since we talked about Willy Wonka, I wanted to throw that question in.
Nah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah, I'm getting chopped up, son. You're gonna find pieces of Dave all over that factory. I don't get to take
That's
it
what
over.
I'm saying.
There's no great glass elevator ride for me.
That's what I'm saying. He's just picking people off, whoever in this psychotic version of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. He's just picking off anyone who violates by eating anything in there, and everyone's gonna eat it.
I would be on my best behavior. Like IRL though, like I wouldn't fuck around with anything.
You say
actually no, yeah, I say that, but like that's having prior knowledge of what happens to the people that fuck around. Like if I was just going in there, new tour, like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me munch some of this and get fucking killed. Like, yeah, no, okay. So I take that back. I'd still get killed.
If you were a kid, for real, like, you wouldn't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Nah.
You're just like, oh shit, free candy.
Yeah, exactly.
I know my son is just like me. He get murked quick. Get scooped up.
Get scooped up by that nerd's rope tree.
Yeah,
and he's light as a bitch too. They're just snatching him up.
He's
even
simpler than I. So he throws some Twizzler vines in there, and
that's all it takes.
Yeah, he's gone. He's
Dunzo.
Scooped up. Be having to kill some Oompa Loompas to get him back.
Word.
I'll do it too.
I know you would.
I fight.
Now that would be a good sequel. You just taking revenge, going John Wick on the Oompa Loompas to get your kid back from the factory. Oh shit!
Yeah, son.
That's what's up.
We gotta give little people, some work. Hire them all.
Kill them all. Hire them all, then kill them all.
Yeah. We'll just we'll make it seem like everything is fake, but I'm going through and I'm murking them all for sure.
Oh, that'd be tight. That'd be a dope sequel. That's my sequel. That's what I want.
All right. So because Johnny's not here, we're gonna jump right into some Hollywoo. This can be considered both Hollywoo and kind of news, but AMC theaters, they are changing their ticket prices. So if you frequently go to AMC theaters, you better prepare yourself mentally for this little tidbit. So apparently there's going to be 3 pricing tiers soon that they will offer. And the preferred tier are the seats in the middle of the theaters, and that's going to be, you know, what is it? That's just gonna. I think that's gonna be normal prices, right? The preferred tier is the middle section.
I thought it was going to be a little bit higher. I thought that was going to be. They were going to jack those up, like because that's the choice seating right there in the middle.
That's the choice seat. So that middle seat that you are, you know, always waiting for, trying to get, you will be charged a little bit more for those seats. For the seats that are not terrible, but you know, just not as popular, it's going to be like your average pricing, and then you can pay less for tickets for the less desirable seats like front row, because nobody wants to sit in front row.
Nobody wants to sit in front row. That's a trash seat.
No. So
does it say how much? Yeah. Did it give numbers? I mean, I saw the story, but I don't think I read the article. Does it say like what kind of price increase we would see? Okay.
No, because I think that's going to vary from place to place. Because, like, I think Johnny in New York City pays more for tickets than we do. Oh, well, then, you know, we do here in Rock.
I'm probably going to pay more than both y'all out here.
Probably. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know how that they wouldn't be able to say that. They just let you know that there are tiers. It says, and I'll read the quote here from CNN Business. It says 3 pricing tiers will soon be offered. For example, the highest end preferred tier are in the middle of the theaters and will be priced at a slight premium compared to its standard tier, which the theater chains say will remain the most common choice and will be sold for traditional cost of a ticket. The third tier is called value, which are seats in the front row of theaters and will cost less than its standard tier. So that's all it really says. It doesn't actually give out prices, but I think that's just that the prices vary.
Did it say when that would take effect, or is that just something that they're planning in the future?
I just see here that it says it will soon be offered. It doesn't say.
Okay.
When.
Is that going to dissuade you from? Oh, you don't. You said you're not a big AMC
I don't go
guy
to AMC,
anyway, so
no.
You don't even. Yeah.
We only have one AMC theater here.
Yeah, and that's not really close to you.
It's not really close to me. I used to love going to that theater because they were the first ones in this area that had the recliners.
Mm-hmm.
But what I don't like about it is it's not stadium, so it's still that very flat theater experience.
Yeah.
So that's why I opt out of going there.
That's fair.
But
that's
fair. But that's the only one, so it doesn't really affect me.
I might have to start hitting up Cinemark's shit.
Yeah, I'm a Cinemark guy. That's the nicest theater we have, and we're even losing one of our Regal cinemas here, so we don't really have too many.
Greece, right?
Yep.
That was my theater growing up. That was
facts.
I could walk.
I mean,
there.
I live right next to it, and I don't go to that theater, but every now and then I used to take the kids.
Yeah.
But no, I don't go as often as I should now. But
I mean, if it's any more than $1, I feel like I would think about it. But I mean, like those are the seats. Like, you know, when something's gonna drop and those tickets go on sale, like those are the seats I go to, bro. I go to the middle seats. I want middle. Like I want to be right in the middle of that bitch. And usually I get them because I pre-order that shit before anybody. But yeah, that's kind of shitty.
I am a middle back row person.
Okay, so
I don't think
middle
it would
back.
affect me. Yeah, I don't know if it would affect me. I don't know if they mean like the middle as in like the center of the theater, or they're saying like the middle in general, like all the way down.
I was
middle
thinking, middle, like, you know, lengthwise, like to the side.
Yeah.
You're right. That's how I'm
thinking. I'm saying though, because like generally, I think people just want to sit in the middle, but it varies from where. So it could go that way where it's like dead center, no matter which row could be higher. And then the ends are where they, it's the standard price.
Right.
Nobody
So
really wants to sit
if it was
on
like
the
a
ends.
perfect square, let's say, and like so like the middle of that square, if it were broken into like 9 spaces or something like that middle, those seats in that middle square would be the premium seats per se. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But like where I am now, there's a lot of AMCs. That's like the main theater, and I mean, there
is that
might
making
be
you
some
worry
Cinemarks,
about it?
But no. I mean,
I'm assuming it's like $2. $2 difference.
And I mean, what is in the grand scheme of things, we're already paying out the ass to go to these theaters. So, and if
you're
it's
not
something
really
I
a
want to
theater
see,
guy
I don't go
anyway.
to the theater all the time. I don't fuck with the theater all the time.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
when I go to the
it's
theater and I
discouraged.
want to see something, I'm going to fucking see it. Regardless at $2, $3, like I'm probably still going to go for like a new Tarantino movie's dropping and I can't get a seat, for the price I want in that middle, I'm going to fucking snag it. Like it's not going to stop me from going because I don't go that often anyway. So when I am going, I'm fucking going, bro.
Facts. Okay. Yeah, I know. It didn't sound like Johnny was. Oh no, because he's a member, so it doesn't affect his.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't mention that, but if you are, I forgot what AMC calls their memberships, but if you're a member, the prices stay the same no matter where you want to sit.
Maybe that they're just trying to boost their membership numbers. Maybe that's how they.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they figure they can get a little more bread. Wasn't AMC like on the brink of like shutting it all down like during the pando there? What weren't they like?
I want to say
literally
so, yeah.
on the ropes, but like close. Yeah. And now they're like, yeah, we're gonna jack our shit up. So fuck y'all.
Yeah, they want to recoup.
Right.
They're
trying to recoup from that pando. No, I get it.
But yeah, if you're someone who frequently goes to AMC theaters, just be prepared for that price increase and just consider it. You saw You People, right?
Yes, I did.
What did you think?
I thought that it was very, very, very funny. I thought Eddie Murphy was funny. I thought Jonah Hill was funny. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Duchovny, Mia Long, like they were all very, very, very funny. Like I really enjoyed that. And when it's a Netflix movie, it's not like you're paying to go see it elsewhere. So you'll give pretty much anything a shot if something drops, on Netflix. And I don't know if I'm wrong, but like I feel like I haven't seen Eddie Murphy in something since like what was that Netflix movie that he did where he was like a pimp or something? Like it was like I
don't even know.
What the fuck was it called? Now I gotta look it up now because it's gonna bug me.
It was recent?
It was pretty recent. Let's see. I'm gonna find it here.
Yeah,
Dolomite. Was it Dolomite?
Oh, Dolomite is my name.
Dolomite is that. I feel like that was the last thing. At least I remember him being in, and I don't even think I watched that just because it didn't look very interesting. So to see him with Jonah Hill, who I love, and just that obviously that movie was sort of a reimagining or a remake of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier, and also I think what was the other one with Ashton Kutcher where they also did something similar, just Guess Who with Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
Right. Those movies were all in the same sort of vein, but I really thought that movie was was really, really funny. And I thought that Jonah Hill, especially, I don't know, I like it's hard for him to play a Jew, but like the whole Jews versus the blacks, like that vibe was just, it made for a really, really funny and funny and like awkward sort of cringy comedy, which I don't know. I thought it killed. Like I went in sort of with low expectations. Actually, no, I'm going to say not even super low. Just like, haven't seen Eddie in a while. The trailers looked funny. I was sort of hesitant to, to get my hopes up for it. But I mean, I thought it was really funny. I thought it was smart. What did you think? I know you watched it not too long ago either.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. It was definitely pretty funny. I agree with some of the criticism saying that Jonah Hill and Laura London's their chemistry just really wasn't there. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that chemistry was there at all.
I heard their kiss at the end was CGI.
That's what I was gonna get to.
Yeah.
So Schultz, Andrew Schultz, who was in the movie,
Yeah.
he came out and said, like, "Yo, I don't know if you noticed, but that last kiss there was CGI." And looking back at it, it definitely was. Looks like their faces like melted into each other. So,
What do you think is the reason for that? Do you think she didn't want to kiss Jonah Hill? Or,
be.
vice versa? Like, what? Your fucking actor's probably making a decent amount of money, bro. Just fucking kiss this chick.
yeah, I don't.
Or kiss
I
this
don't know. It
dude.
could be
Like,
her.
whoever
It could have been
was
her.
responsible for that. Like, I feel like that was stupid. Like, there's no need for that at all.
I mean, I don't know. Can you see that right there?
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm going to play the video for you.
Oh, nice.
Let me see if I can get it to load here because it's on Insider's website. But
No, Joe, it's funny, yo. There's a hilarious thing. I don't know if I should share this shit, but the final scene.
Can you hear that?
They don't even kiss. It's CGI.
Get the fuck
I
out.
swear to God, son.
How's it CGI?
I'm there. I'm watching the wedding, and I see them go in for the kiss, and their faces stop like this far. And I'm like, I wonder how they're gonna play that in the movie. Oh, they're probably just gonna cut right there. But the movie, you could see their faces come close,
Wow.
and then you could see their faces morph a little bit
Wow.
into a fake kiss.
Salute to Lauren London making Dr. Umar proud in real
That's
life.
what I'm saying, bro.
He might have got
That's
pissed off in the
black
movie.
representation.
Dr. Umar might have got pissed off in the movie, but in real life, Lauren
Dr.
Hill
Umar's
is
like,
down.
you people got it right.
That's funny.
So, and then if you go back and actually watch it, I thought it was going to show like the one where it actually shows the clip. But if you go back and watch that, their faces just like kind of morph into each other. Like it's kind of.
It never
And
even
throughout
crossed
the
my
movie,
mind.
they never really kissed.
Honestly, yeah. Like you said, like their chemistry, and thinking back on it, and I don't think this is something I really thought about while I was watching it. But yeah, I mean, their chemistry was not great by any means. But for some reason, like it still was plausible enough that I don't think it ruined the movie for me or anything like that. But yeah, that was definitely on the low end of the sort of spectrum of compatibility because they just seemed like an odd couple almost.
They did. They seemed like an odd couple. I did notice that it didn't really seem like they kissed, like even at the times where they were like joking with each other. And they had some moments where it kind of seemed like it was like it was all right. But the comedy was good. Specifically, Julia Louis-Dreyfus and David Duchovny were hilarious.
Yeah.
But a lot of the criticisms that's coming from the black community is saying that like on the Jewish side, it was more of it being, and now thinking back on it, right? Hearing this and then thinking back on it, I was like, wait, yeah, you're kind of right. Where it was like the Jewish aspect of it was just like, it was just there. But it was more of your typical, like white family trying to, you know what I mean? Like the saying the inappropriate things, but not meaning to. And then when it came to the black side, it was just like the furthest, like everything was extremely stereotypical where it came to like, him being, his name is Akbar. He like has to be, a part of the, he's Muslim, like real deep. And then like down to, they took him into, and spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it, but it's on Netflix. You should, where they, like they take him into the Crips hood with a red hoodie on, like a pickup game of basketball. It's just like little things. Like they just felt like it wasn't well balanced when it came to the dynamics that they were into. You know what I mean? To really play the jokes.
Yeah.
Well, on like the Jewish side, as to opposed to like the black side was just like really stereotypical.
Yeah.
And like thinking back on it, I was like, oh well, yeah, actually they're making a lot of good points on that. But watching it was pretty funny. But really the only real major funny parts were David Duchovny and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Just when David Duchovny got on the piano. I forgot what song he was playing. We're just ordinary people.
Yeah. The John Legend. He was playing John Legend, was it?
Yeah. Just looking at him like, what? Like, why are you playing this right now? You know, I enjoyed it, but there is a lot of stuff now where people are just like over analyzing this movie and kind of picking it apart. So I wanted to see how you felt about it. It was definitely funny. Eddie Murphy could have been funnier.
Yeah.
Like they could have used Eddie.
That's part of the writing, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They could have used the genius of Eddie Murphy a little bit more in a better way, I guess.
Yeah. But I feel like the Judaism was sort of played for laughs, and the Muslim part, you know, that was, you know, he was sort of like a militant Muslim, you know, really serious about it. Like, yeah, it definitely felt not like, you know, he was mean, but I feel like there were more jokes for Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Duchovny than there were for, you know, for her parents, for Eddie and the other chick. Like it almost was like, I don't want to say pitting the audience against them, but like, you know, depending on your ethnicity, like when you watch that, you're going to identify with one side or the other, you know, more than the other, basically. Like I mean, obviously like watching it, I feel like to a point, Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character reminded me of my mom. The, you know, the good intentions, the, you know, the honest mistakes necessarily, but she was obviously way more worse than, like, my mom would never get that crazy about any of that. Like, you know, one conversation with her and she would fucking shut it down real quick. Like, but you know, a lot of that just was, you know, played for laughs and, you know, the cringy effect. And I feel like the cringiness of it was me just sort of putting myself in that position. Cause I mean, I've had dinners with
that'd be
parents and girlfriends, and like, you know how that's already like a shaky kind of scary thing to do anyway. But when you start throwing in like, I don't know, subtle racism or unintended racism, bro, it got really wild. And like, I watched that with my sister when I was staying with her before I actually moved out here, because I was out of the house for a little bit. So like, as me and her were watching it, we were like, oh yeah, that's like mom. This is kind of like mom. Oh no, mom's not that bad. Like, we felt bad for comparing her to our mom at the beginning, because it just progressed and got so much worse, bro. And I don't know, they finally told the other parent off, so to speak, at the end of the movie, and you kind of knew that was coming. But I feel like it almost took too long to get to that point. Because, I mean, if I were Jonah Hill, bro, and, like, my girl's family's punking me like that, like, we're going to have a conversation a lot sooner than he fucking laid into Eddie Murphy and told him, you know, how it was. Like, I'm not putting up with that shit for that long. Like, we're going to talk about it real quick, bro. He let that go on too long. Like, they fucking were broken up and done for months. And even that whole part, like, obviously this is a spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but like, they were done with each other for months. I feel like they said, 3 months later, like, and all of a sudden they planned this like fake wedding, or like not a fake wedding, like a real wedding. Like, hey, I'm going to my wedding now. Like, what if they were seeing somebody else or talking to, so like, I don't know. Part of it was odd to me, but in general, like, it was nice to see Eddie Murphy be funny. It was nice to see that dynamic between him and Jonah Hill. Like, I think they need to do some more shit together, you know, a different context, obviously, but
Yeah.
that's a really, really funny duo, I think.
Yeah, no, they were definitely good. I just think the writing, even though I forgot the name of the writer of that, the writer and director. Kenya Barris. Kenya Barris, and it was written by Kenya Barris and Jonah Hill.
Okay.
But either way, I didn't think it was too bad. It was pretty funny. There are some, the criticisms that are going out there. I can see now in hindsight. Definitely, we didn't see much of Nia Long at all.
No, we did not.
She was just like in and out, just whenever Eddie was there.
Yeah.
Pretty much stealing the show, and she's just like, she's just there to add on to it. But, but anyway, moving on.
Word.
So. As you know, I've been watching Yellowstone.
Oh shit! I love it.
I'm on season 2, like episode 3 or something like that. So it was crazy to see the news now with the whole thing. A little bit of controversy with Yellowstone right now. I don't know if it's really controversy, but there is some drama on the set. So apparently they're looking to end the show.
Yeah.
They're looking to end the show right now and continue with an extension using, with Matthew McConaughey. I don't know if that means that it's like a sequel kind of show, some sort of spinoff.
Right.
Or if it's just going to continue and it's still going to be called Yellowstone. I don't know. It seems like Yellowstone is ending, but they are moving it along to this different story that's revolving around Matthew McConaughey. And apparently all of this came about because of Kevin Costner. So sources tell, and I'm going to read the article here. It's from Deadline. Sources tell Deadline that Costner, who had originally limited himself to 65 days of shooting on Yellowstone, only wanted to shoot for 50 days for the rest for the first part of the current season. So he narrowed it down to 50 days, and then it said, but for the second batch of episodes of the current 5th season of Yellowstone, the actor who just won, an award or whatever,
Yeah, just got an Emmy.
only wanted to spend 1 week shooting.
What?
Yep, for the second part of it.
There's fucking like 7 or 8 more episodes that need to drop for the second part of this season that aired, and this motherfucker thought that he would just do it in a week.
Yep.
Bro, I didn't hear any of that.
Now.
No, I mean, I still fuck with Kevin Costner. I'm not gonna go back on that. I'm a big Kevin Costner guy, but that's selfish as a motherfucker. Like, does he have a reason? Like, does he have like a sick family member he's gotta go? Like, I need a good reason for this, because like he's not doing anything else. And granted, I don't know what their filming schedule was like. Maybe it's grueling. Maybe it's like, I don't know all the specifics of it, but that's super unfair, not only for viewers, but like your co-stars, the fucking crew, the food people that provide food on the set, that make their fucking living feeding these actors. Like, there's a whole ecosystem of people that this is going to affect, not just, the viewer that doesn't get more Yellowstone, which obviously I want. I'm a big Yellowstone guy. But yeah, no, that's really, really fucked up. And like, unless there's a good reason for that, a health issue, like I said, a family member that needs to be taken care of, it sounds like he's being a rich, selfish bitch.
I mean, I think it's a little bit of that, where he's Kevin Costner and he's feeling entitled. It's a mixture of that, and also the fact that he is directing and starring in in a multiple part Western called Horizon, which he co-wrote with John Baird for Warner Brother Pictures and New Line. So he's currently that is currently in production, and they're thinking that is the reason for that, is because he just wants to spend more time on that other project, which is still bullshit.
Doesn't
like
he have
you
like
knew,
a contract? Like, is he breaking a contract? Can he get sued? Like, I feel like you can't just, unless they gave him all this leeway to play John Dutton and say, yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, then I guess that's on the producers and shit. But like, if he's going out of his way to breach a contract that says you got to film X amount of days from 65 to 50 to a week, like, you know, you could film a scene for a fucking day, like, you know, depending on this, like, you know, that's, a week is not reasonable. That pisses me off. Like I said, I still fuck with Costner. I still fuck with the character and the show, but like, I don't know, man. That's not cool.
Knowing that that's the reason why this is pretty much ending
right
on this 5th season, that's bullshit. It's just some bullshit. Like, he has a good thing going. These actors, man, especially these vetted actors, they get to a point where they're just like, oh, well, this is just, I am who I am, and this is what I want, and that's it. Like, no more, no less. Like, I'm a week, even 65 days to film, what, 10 episodes that they usually run for, 10 to 12?
Yeah, usually it's 10 to 12 in a normal season.
Yeah, that means that they're altering everything. Like, they're exhausting everyone else with the shooting schedules to fit pretty much just your schedule, just you.
Yeah.
To please you. Like, and that's bullshit. You're just not taking anyone else's lives into, you know, into account for this. And it's some bullshit. Kevin Costner's a dick.
There's got to be some tension on that set, bro. Like, people are losing paychecks, they're losing money. Like, you know, like I said, it's not just the actors. It trickles down to the fucking janitors that, you know, are responsible for cleaning up those sets. Like, there's a lot of money at stake, a lot of people's lives at stake. And Kevin Costner's like, no, I got this other project that I got going on, so I'll give you guys a week, you know, something that I've signed up for. And it's not even like it's a new show and he's like, no, I changed my mind. Like, this is an established show that he's won at least one Emmy for. So, like, this isn't just some, you know, bullshit production. Like, yeah, no, that pisses me off. I didn't know that was the reason. I knew that they were going to wrap it up, but I just thought, like, that was the plan. I did not know that there was a whole reasoning
he made
behind
this proposal. He made this proposal to the Paramount Network, and they declined it. And they just said that instead they're gonna they made the decision to move on to the other show. So the main writer, which I believe is Sheridan. I didn't see the first name, but the main writers are moving on to this new show, which is an extension of the Yellowstone franchise. And like we said earlier, they're going to write this and have Matthew McConaughey star in it. But yeah, the rumors are that there is a lot of tension on the set. People are obviously not happy with him.
Yeah.
And you know, same shit, man. There's a lot of good people on this show, and they're all out of a job now, right? They had this cushy thing. It's a hit series. You know, it for some reason it's been going on for 5 seasons, but just now it's really like the word is getting around, which is odd. I don't know why that happened that way. But a lot of people are now jumping onto this and they're just going to end it all because of fucking Kevin Costner.
What the fuck is Cole Hauser going to do if he can't play Rip? He's going to have to go back to doing fucking...
That's the best role I've ever seen him in.
B-movie bad guys. Yeah, no, he plays bullshit roles and fucking everything. Mm-hmm. And in this role, he fucking kills it, man. Like, there's nobody that can play Rip like Rip, bro. He's like, he is my favorite character in the show.
He is.
Without a doubt, bro. You want to fight somebody? You fight Rip. That's how it goes. And now my man is going to be out of a job, and I'm not going to fight Rip. I don't want none of that. I don't want that smoke.
No, hopefully, it re-sparks his career and gets him some better roles. But We'll see. We'll see. I haven't seen any. Obviously, I'm getting through Yellowstone. This may make me, fuck with the sequel or the prequels, because there's 2 prequels to it.
One with Harrison Ford, right? Was it 1923?
Yeah, the first one is 1883, and it starred Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, and Sam Elliott. That one premiered in December 2021, and then it says it told the story of how the Duttons came to own the land that became the Yellowstone Ranch. And then the most recent one is 1923, which stars Helen Mirren, your favorite, and Harrison Ford. That premiered in December 2022 and is set for a second and final season. So there's only 2 seasons for that.
Damn, they're just giving us a little taste.
Yeah, and that one is the time of Western expansion, Prohibition, and the Great Depression. So,
damn. I mean, I'm gonna fuck with all that now, but like, that was all just so that like I could fuck with more Yellowstone. Like, that just, it bums me out, because it all goes back to like Costner, bro. Like, we only want to watch that shit because Costner was so fucking fire.
He is
in this role, dude. Like, this is that John Dutton role, regardless of how much of a dick Costner's being, is so good. It's just so good.
I was the one who gave you so much shit about it.
I know.
I was like, nah, I don't want it. I don't want to see it. No.
I know.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
I know. I knew that was going to happen. That's why I wasn't even mad about it. I was like, okay, you do what you do. You'll come around. You'll watch it eventually. And here we are.
You do you, boo boo.
Yep. I know what's tight.
We're good.
You know I wouldn't fuck with you like that.
Nah. It was that was a good move. I'm enjoying the show so far. Let's see. So came out, and obviously you weren't here for the conversation, but James Gunn came out recently and gave all kinds of updates on what he was going to be presenting in the near future. And let's see, he recently came out and said the comic books. So for those of you who actually care about the comic books, the comic books that he is actually referencing in these, let me see here. I'm gonna actually let me bring up the.
Oh.
I'm trying to use these features, but
we don't fuck with them. No, it's all right.
The way Johnny is. So
Johnny's nice with it.
Well, he's just a little closer. Like, I have to extend.
Yeah, you do.
So, I gotta be careful with this Twitter, man. I've been messing with this Twitter with you, and y'all set me up with some questionable things. I can't just be having it pop up on my feed.
Tell me about it. Yeah, you can't just go scrolling through Twitter on in the open, son, like that, son. Like, you could just have like a, CNN. There's an earthquake in Turkey, and then you scroll down 2 fucking posts, and there's just some chick getting railed.
Yeah.
Like, it gets wild on Twitter, bro. It's like the Wild West, bro. What's Elon doing? Yeah. I'm not mad at it, but yo.
It pops up, and I just got them titties.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, these are the comic books that he's referencing for the upcoming, few or the first phase of the DCU.
Mm-hmm.
So it's All-Star Superman, The Authority, I think it's Pledge Allegiance or Else. Let's see, Batman by Grant Morrison.
Damn.
And Absolute Swamp Thing by Alan Moore. So these are the ones that he's currently referencing. Obviously, I'm not, but we here are just
casual nerds.
We're casual nerds. So we don't really deep dive into that. But it was cool. Like, if you're someone who enjoys that and want to take a look at the different the runs of comic books that he's going to be referencing, feel free to take a look at those. A lot of people are excited at the fact that he mentioned these. And while we're in talks for that, looks like Logan, the director of Logan, I believe it's the director. Let me see. All right, so James Mangold, who is the writer and director for Logan, is in talks to direct DC's Swamp Thing.
I like that. I mean, if it's anything in the vein of Logan.
Yeah, Swamp Thing for I think Swamp Thing, even though he's talking about DCU, I don't know if this is gonna be in the main mix of like the DCU timeline. I think it's all going to be canon, but I don't think like the character is gonna mix. I think it's gonna be that's going to probably be leaning more towards Justice League Dark. But even if it's like Elseworld stuff, right? Or not even that, or they don't all have to cross paths right away. I'm excited for Swamp Thing. It's a darker comic. The only Swamp Thing that we're really exposed to is the Toxic Avengers from back in the day, like the 80s campy ass movies.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about.
The way that they look now, it's just like so dark, and like he looks like he's wearing those sniper suits that they wear.
Yeah, like a ghillie suit.
Grass. Yeah, it looks like he's wearing a ghillie suit, but obviously that's him. I'm really excited for what's to come with DC, man. People are like on the fence about it, but I thought everything that he announced, even the things that I didn't understand or didn't know about, like the characters, they seem dope.
Right. Yeah. I mean, just the fact that there's a fucking plan. We have a plan for DC. Yeah. This thing, it's like your, I don't want to say it's like your little brother, but, it's like a friend that you want to see do good. But, maybe they're going down a bad path. Maybe they have trouble with the law or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want them to better themselves. You want them to straighten their course. And I want them to get that praise that fucking Marvel gets. Like, I want those two. Because imagine if DC and Marvel, were on the same sort of playing field when it comes to, like, the quality of their content. I mean, the viewer wins. Like, that's good news for us. And right now, it's just sort of like, what's Marvel doing? Oh, that's going to be tight. Ooh, DC's doing that. We'll see how it goes. Like, I don't want to have to think like that. When a new DC movie is dropping, I want to think like when a new Marvel movie is dropping, where we're giving it the benefit of the doubt right off the bat. We're not like, let's see how that goes. We're just like, all right, let's fucking go opening night to go see the Eternals, even though we don't know what the fuck this is going to be about. Like, I want to show that kind of love to DC. I want those movies to be tight. And the fact that, it is James Gunn and, we fuck with James Gunn, it's nice to hear that there's an actual plan in place. And, we'll see how it goes. But just knowing that someone is sort of looking out for that universe, I think makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. And, this is a great start. Right, the director of Logan, which I didn't know that he is also the director of Indiana Jones 5. So that's interesting. Know that either. That actually makes me a little more excited for Indiana Jones 5.
Hell yeah,
Logan was fucking awesome.
Logan was one of my favorites, dude.
Yeah, same. It's for that and bringing that darkness to Swamp Thing. Possibly because they already confirmed the DCU will be comprised of PG-13 and rated R movies, and they're going to be mixed. So a rated R Swamp Thing, that would be dope. We've said it, right? Like the MCU, they pushed themselves in a corner with pretty much just catering to kids, and like, and some of it is like pushing the line just a tad bit. But they definitely got themselves in a corner where when they went to bring in the the Fox properties, which is X-Men and whatnot, and Deadpool, it was that big conversation of, well, where's Deadpool gonna lie, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas like DCU right now, they're setting themselves up to say, hey, this is gonna be a mixture of that stuff. If you like it, great. If not, like they're drawing their line in the sand. And right off the bat, like saying that PG-13 and rated R, that leaves a lot of great opportunities, for, like we said it earlier, like Constantine 2. I know the director was fighting for an R rating because initially the first movie, he fought for an R rating, or he didn't fight enough for an R rating. So, and that ended up being PG-13. So this time around, he wanted to fight for that R rating. Like now he doesn't really have to fight. It's
right.
I'm assuming he's getting that R rating, and then it's just going to be like whatever. Like, and I think that Swamp Thing being R rated, it's going to fuck.
Yeah. I mean, we know that's where DC shines. We've said that since the beginning of this podcast. We knew that, when they get dark and they get gritty, that's when they're at their best, in our opinion anyway,
shit.
Right?
Yeah. That's what we strive for. That's what we look for. We
That's
want
it.
that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring that shit, baby.
Exactly.
Since we're talking about DC, I thought this was actually pretty funny. But Peter Safran, who is the co-CEO of DC or DC Films, alongside James Gunn, he commented on the now canceled Batgirl movie, and when we saw the photos of like the costume and everything, we were like, this gives me CW vibes.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
So he commented on that, and he said that there were a lot of talented people in front of and behind the camera, but that film was not releasable. So pretty much in the nicest way possible, he said that movie was trash.
How good could they have been if the movie was unreleasable? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, to have all this talent together that puts out a movie that is we can't even put out, like, how good were they actually if that was what happened?
That is being nice about it. Saying like, yo, like there were a lot of talented people. Like there was a lot of people behind and in front of the camera, but that movie was absolute garbage. And we did not want to release absolute garbage.
And that doesn't happen too often, bro. That doesn't happen too often where they just say, no, we spent all this time and all this money putting this together. No one's ever going to see it. Like, that has to be, yeah. I mean, I hope one day that gets leaked or like a screener or something, just so that I can watch it and be like, wow, they were right. Or imagine if they dropped it and it was kind of tight. Would you be heated?
No.
No.
I don't think it would be kind of tough. Because even like when it came down to Michael Keaton, like the screenshots that or the photos that came out of Michael Keaton on the set, even that, like in his costume, I was like, oh, that looks horrible. And some people were like, oh, that looks awesome. I'm like, oh no, that does not. I remember seeing the photos of the costume for the Batman, and I was like, oh, that looks tight. That looks dope. Oh, I'm kind of excited. I don't know what to expect, but I'm kind of excited for this. I saw Michael Keaton in his costume on the set of Batgirl, and I was like, they are fucking this up. How are you fucking this up? And apparently someone saw that footage and was like, yeah,
they fucked this up.
You fucked this up. No, you're all getting paid, but base salary. This shit is never releasing. That
would hurt my ego, like my will to work. Like I would question. Yeah, I mean, as a director, as a writer, as an actor in that, like if I had anything to do with that movie, if I'm a key grip on set and they're like, yo, this is bad, like I would feel like that reflected on me. And then I would question my shit.
Honestly, I would prefer that it get canceled like that. It'll bum me out for sure.
Yeah.
but I would prefer that gets canceled rather than it released, like that piece of shit releases.
For sure.
And now it is a stain on your IMDb.
Yeah.
And everywhere that you go after this, people are just like, no, you were in that really shitty movie.
It's like the Geely of the DC universe.
Yeah. See, now, if Geely just didn't release.
If they just killed it.
It would just, no one would talk about it.
No one would know.
It would have been like, oh, I wonder how that would have been.
Have you ever
how
watched
bad could
Geely?
it have been? I remember when it first came out, I did watch it. There was so much, there was so much shit going on around it that I was like, oh, I have to watch this now. And the same thing, like if it wouldn't have released, you would have thought like, yo, it had J-Lo, it had Ben Affleck, it had
Pacino.
Al Pacino.
Yeah, dude.
Like, how bad could it really have been? We don't know because it didn't release. So, whatever. But then it released, bombed, and it ended their relationship because of how bad that publicity was.
Mm-hmm.
So, same. I would much rather that this shit get canned. Like someone has the foresight to say, no, this is like, we're going to take this loss and you will still be paid for what you did for this. But no, I'm sorry, this is not being released. It bummed me out, but I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I'm still going to take my check and move the fuck on with my shit.
Move the fuck on, yeah. But your career is not tarnished.
No,
Piece of shit jumps out, your career is tarnished for sure.
Yeah, you got to have balls to do that. You don't just, no one just goes around canceling movies like that. So
no,
that was
and I'm excited
probably
to see
the right
Keaton.
call. Oh yeah,
I'm excited to see Keaton in Flashpoint, and and that's obviously done right because James Gunn came out and was just like, I love that movie, like it was great. And I just saw Keaton in Dope Sick, so it was good to see him acting and stuff, and it was because he was just like out of sight, out of mind kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I know he's worked, but when the fuck do you see Michael Keaton in anything?
Honestly,
so it was good to see him.
The last thing I remember was him in The Other Guys. That was the with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, he was like their chief, like their police chief, and he was super, super funny. And that's really like the last thing that I aside from Dope Sick, I remember seeing trailers for that on Hulu and shit.
Oh, you gotta watch that, dude.
Yeah, I have not watched that yet.
It's just the one season, so it's not like anything you have to invest. It's a true story. It's the one season, and it's a really interesting true story about Big Pharma and when OxyContin was released. Who's the other dude who's now Adam Warlock in Guardians?
Will Poulter?
Will Poulter's in it also.
Nice.
I like Will Poulter. He's
good.
No,
he's a good dude. Funny.
Yeah, dude. So I recommend that. If you have nothing, you're caught up on your shit, watch Dope Sick. Good 8 episodes. You'll bang right through it. It'd be good.
8 episodes.
Word. So this was something interesting. We're coming up on the 25th anniversary of James Cameron's Titanic. And because of that, ahead of the theatrical re-release is coming out on February 10th due to this anniversary.
Yeah. And
and James Cameron came out and he, him and a team of scientists, for a special filmed for National Geographic, recreated and restaged the final scenes of Titanic to see if, in fact, Jack would have fit on that door. Where do you land on that?
I'm still saying no. I'm saying that's a no-go. I honestly don't think there was enough. I mean, even if he tried to hop on there, I feel like it would have sank it. Like, physically, like if that board was laying on the ground, I'm sure, him and Kate Winslet could lay on that bitch and be fine. But, in the ocean with, the water and all that, I feel like if he would have tried to, that would have capsized the whole shit. And then they're both dead at that point. So I'm
Right.
still going to say no. I don't think that he would have fit on there as much as people wanted Leo, to survive and not see him fall into the, that was a very sad scene. We all get it. I honestly don't think there was enough room on that door for them to both be on there and still be floating. Because, spatially, like I said, I feel like there was room. But it's that weight in the water that I feel like would have fucked it up. And that's what I think a lot of people don't think about when you're like, oh, yeah, he could have fit on that door.
Though. That was a big fucking door.
It was a big door. But you got to think, we're in the Atlantic. It's fucking probably choppier than it really was in the movie. I'm gonna say no. You think he could have fit?
I don't know. You bring up some good points, and that is the truth. That weight, they're not accounting for that weight distribution there.
Right.
Maybe if it was a thick enough door or the balance was right, possibly. But if you really want to know that answer, they're going to be him and a team of scientists. James Cameron and a team of scientists are actually putting it to the test. So we're finally going to get that answer on whether or not Jack. And I would have to agree with you. Yeah, they're not accounting for that. They're just looking at the space and how much space was on there, but they're not thinking how heavy were they together. Would that have sunk in that door? Should they have tried? And once the door started to sink, then make the decision of jumping off and hanging on.
Then I'm pushing Rose off that bitch, and I'm trying to live, son. I'm not trying to die.
I mean, that's a fact. Yeah, fuck her by that point.
Yeah, I mean, you already did.
A lot of people. Have you heard the conspiracy theory about the Titanic?
No.
The conspiracy theory is that I want to say it was. And I could be wrong. I can look it up, but whatever. I'm paraphrasing. The names may be a little bit different, but Rockefeller was supposed to be on that boat, and last minute decided, no, I'm not going on that boat, and that it was purposefully that the ship was purposefully sunk because all of his competitors were on that ship.
Ooh. That's a sequel I would like to see. I want to see the fallout from that, because if that were actually true, there's some shit that's gonna come down. There's fucking assassins coming after John D. Rockefeller. Like, that's serious, bro. You had people assassinated basically on that boat. Bruh, that's tight. I like that.
Let me see if I can find some information on this.
I'd never heard that. I've heard a lot of weird Titanic theories before, but the John D. and I've heard about how Rockefeller was supposed to be on that. Something happened at the last minute and he didn't. But that could have just been coincidence. I think what was it? Seth MacFarlane was supposed to be on one of those flights from Boston on 9/11 that was going to L.A. and something happened at the last minute and he was not. He obviously didn't get on the plane. Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't have gotten all the
there'd be
awesome Seth MacFarlane
right. There wouldn't be a
stuff.
shitload of Family Guy. There wouldn't be any Ted movies and 1,000 Ways to Die in the West, which I really love. I think that movie was really, really funny.
Let's see.
John D. Rockefeller, huh? Playing everybody.
It wasn't Rockefeller.
Oh, it wasn't?
Now that I'm looking it up, the rumor is J.P. Morgan.
Oh, J.P. Morgan, the banker.
Yeah, the banker.
Owned Chase or owned Chase. J.P. Morgan Chase. Or merged with Chase. But yeah, that's still, the same thing.
Yeah, of course they're saying, like people are saying, like, while it's true that J.P. Morgan owned the Titanic and did not sail on its doomed maiden voyage, there is no evidence to suggest he deliberately missed the trip because he knew the ship would sink. I mean, but that's...
it's going to hit an iceberg. Like, if it were another way that it went down, like if a bomb blew up on it or something, like I could see, okay,
No,
he knew something was up.
There are because they were saying like it was supposed to be made strong enough to take that impact and be good, but it was like it's a conspiracy, so they say shit, they make it seem very plausible. Now the story that I enjoyed was and obviously this is not a true story, but this is another. It is I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory, but I've heard this story go on, and it's not real. But they were saying there was a story going around of imagine the Titanic was the setting for the first zombie outbreak, and they decided to sink the ship.
So there was like an outbreak of something, and they're like, "Yo, we got to put this ship down, or else this is going to get to land." It's gonna
or it's going to get to land, and exactly.
That's tight.
That would be a dope movie that I would watch. Obviously, kind of in the same vein of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
Yes.
I think it would be entertaining, to say the least, to see that roll out in a movie.
Yeah. No, agreed.
All right, let's get more down to the nitty gritty here. I don't know if I care about this enough, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway because we don't have too much more here. Apparently, the King of the Hill revival is in the works at Hulu. The entire cast is coming back.
I love it. Anytime an entire cast is coming back, even if it's something that I didn't really, fuck with too heavily, because like I'll be honest, when King of the Hill was airing new episodes and shit, like I would watch it if it were on, but like it wasn't like, oh man, I got to catch the new King of the Hill tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like they were funny, and if I caught them, awesome. If I didn't, but like anytime a revival, especially after this long, where the whole cast comes back, they love it. They're not going to say, "Oh, I have 1 week to record all my dialogue," or "You can get fucked." Their hearts are in it. It's something that they love. These characters they love. I mean, Mike Judge is super, super, super funny dude. Anything he does, Silicon Valley, Office Space. I mean, all those are. I love his humor. So like, I think I would go out of my way to watch these new episodes. When that revival drops, I think especially if it's on Hulu, something that I'm paying for anyway, and I have at my disposal. I would 100% check those out, and especially with today's sort of climate, there's going to be different themes, different sort of goings on, within King of the Hill. It's going to be sort of probably a little bit more modern. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope. I obviously don't know, when they're going to pick it up or anything like that, but like, I think that there's a lot of potential for that to be really funny when, everybody's coming back. The writers, Judge, everyone's heart's in it. It sounds like it's something that they want to do. I'm pretty pumped for it now that I know everyone's coming back. Cause I mean, I heard of a revival, but I mean, you never know when that shit happens. Maybe they get somebody who can mimic Boomhauer's voice or something like that, even though I'm pretty sure that was just Mike Judge doing Boomhauer. But you know what I'm saying? Like if not everyone's there, it might not be the same, but if it has any chance, it will be with, the original cast coming back, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, even though I said like I'm probably never gonna watch it, I'm happy to see that all these voice actors have a job again. I'm sure they've kept busy, all these years. Do we need? That's always my question. Do we need another more seasons of King of the Hill? But I think animations have really took a big step. We have a lot more people who are our age that really enjoy this. They might get a little bit more raunchy now that it's on Hulu.
Yeah,
get a little crazier. Obviously, I didn't know Brittany Murphy was Luann. Now that makes sense.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
She's obviously gonna have to be recast, but
right.
But there's I'd probably check out an episode or two.
Yeah, just why not?
Hopefully, maybe I'll like it.
Yeah.
I remember watching the old show, and if it came on, it was a good time.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
exactly.
change the channel.
Right, exactly. You're not going out of your way to change it, but you're also not going out of your way to put it on either. Like it had to be like that perfect timing of, Family Guy just ended and now King of the Hill's coming on or something like that, where you're just like, all right, we'll fucking watch it. And there's a lot of funny moments in, the older King of Hills that still get like memed and talked about and shit. And I think it'll be a good time.
Facts. Can't wait for that.
Word.
And I know you were, I don't know, I can't remember if you were excited about this, but you told me about it. The Gladiator, remember we were talking about how there's a sequel?
Yeah.
So it finally got a release date. So this is really moving forward.
I don't know how they're going to make a sequel out of this. Because like I said, when we talked about it in our group thread, like Maximus died at the end of Gladiator.
Yeah.
So like, is it his son? Is that like his son picking up and sort of taking the torch, or?
I believe so.
Okay.
So it says here, let me see, will not be coming back. Russell Crowe will not be coming back, of course. Instead, playing Lucius, Paul Mescal will be playing the son of Lucilla, who now is a grown man as the story takes place years after the first film ended. So Lucius also was the nephew of Commodus, which is played by Joaquin Phoenix.
Yep.
The son of Roman leader Marcus Aurelius. So
Okay.
it's not he's related more so to Joaquin Phoenix's character.
I like that though. Like it's still a valid continuation of the story, because like you said, Lucius was just a kid, when Gladiator was out. So like, yeah, that would be cool to see him sort of pick that up. Yeah, no, I'm a little bit more stoked about that, knowing that, because I didn't know when they said sequel to that. I'm like, how do you have a sequel when the fucking main character died? But I mean, that plot line makes sense. And I mean, Joaquin Phoenix got killed, Commodus got killed in Gladiator, so there is no Joaquin Phoenix, there's no Russell Crowe. But I mean, I fuck with that sort of that time period, that Gladiator time period, that Spartacus. I don't know if you ever watched Spartacus when it was on Stars.
I did, yeah. It was good up until the main dude died in real life.
Yeah. Till Andy Whitfield died, which was super sad. That he had like leukemia or something. He's just like, who would have thought that fucking Spartacus? He was so jacked and so fucking good looking, bro. Like I was devastated when that dude died. I was like, yo, if that dude can die, like
Same.
I could fucking die tomorrow, because like my man was in sick shape. But yeah, I thought I still kept watching the the Spartacus, even with the new Spartacus, and then they had, if you remember the prequel, where it was right after Andy Whitfield died, they were like, oh fuck, what do we do? And they made that prequel. I even fucked with all of that, and I think John Hannah, if you remember John Hannah from the opening monologue of The Last of Us, that guy that was given the speech about the fungus and everything, and that cold opening there. He was in a bunch of those. I don't remember exactly which one. It was Spartacus and the other one, but I'm on board for that the Gladiator sequel. Like I said, does it say was it going to get streamed somewhere, or
no? It's just saying that it's set for Paramount, but I don't I don't think, it's not saying that it's like stream. I think it's gonna be released in theaters,
like an actual
because it is Ridley Scott that's directing this.
Wow. So, Ridley Scott too. Fuck.
Yeah, he's definitely coming back. And I'm looking on his thing, on his IMDb, and it also says untitled Alien prequel that he's gonna be directing soon too. Like,
damn. Okay. Yo, how old is Ridley Scott? If you're on his IMDb, that's what I'm saying.
Ridley Scott is. Let me go back.
I hope he makes it.
He is.
I want to see all these.
Damn, he was born in 1937. What's that age?
Bruh, they better fucking get these filmed real quick, son. That's scary as a motherfucker. 37.
Wow, that's not. He's not too far from. He's closer to 100 than he is the beginning of his life.
Yeah, bro. My man's at least 80 right now.
Word. So he's getting all these movies out ASAP.
Jesus, I hope so.
So yeah, I mean, I'm down for this prequel. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be pretty good. We'll see. Because I tried watching The Last Duel. It was too slow for me. That's like his thing. These timepieces that are like these epics.
Yeah, I couldn't watch The Last Duel. I didn't even try. I
did try. I tried, and it's just not my bag, man.
Yeah.
And like the next that's what I'm seeing. Like I didn't see House of Gucci. He directed that.
I didn't see that either.
I think I started Raised by Wolves, but it was like really odd.
It got canceled anyway. It didn't fucking matter, right?
Right. 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, like the next things he has other than the 2 that I mentioned is Napoleon. He's directing. He's in post-production for a Napoleon flick.
Okay.
And Queen and Country. Like that shit sounds like I'm never gonna watch it.
Yeah, probably not. But the Napoleon one, I might fuck with. I would fuck with the Napoleon.
I might fuck with Napoleon. Yeah, I gotta see that. That trailer. That trailer gotta be
for sure
fire. I forgot. Yeah, it's Joaquin Phoenix playing Napoleon.
Playing Napoleon. I could see that too. That he fucking looks like Napoleon, bro. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Good casting.
It's always good casting, man. Let's see. You throw Joaquin Phoenix in there, it's good casting, bro.
Always.
I don't really have. That's the last thing that I have, bro.
Word.
We good? You have anything to add to this stellar conversation?
No, man. We touched on everything. I mean, we were missing a little bit of news because Johnny was doing his dad thing, but we can catch up on news next week.
Yeah, you wanna talk at least a little bit of Last of Us, or you want to save that for Johnny?
Yeah, no. Do you want to? I'm down to talk Last of Us. That shit's fresh in my mind, and we got the new episode dropping. You call it, son.
All right, cool. Johnny, sorry, we're not waiting for you on this one. It's been a few weeks since we've talked about The Last of Us. I don't know how spoiler we're going to get, but we're going to talk freely about it. So for those of you who are watching The Last of Us.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Don't say we didn't warn you, but if you're falling off right now, we love you. Thank you so much for listening to the show, and we'll catch you next week.
Rate, review, and subscribe.
Rate, review, subscribe to the podcast.
Shit.
Yeah, Last of Us.
Last of Us.
I think we only discussed the very first episode, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so much has happened from the very first episode. And every week I've been extremely excited to catch up on whatever's coming up. We got on the very first episode, obviously we talked about that. That's when everything broke out and then they left the quarantine zone. The very next episode, we got the edge of your seat fucking episode where they first came across some clickers when they were in the museum.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fucking intense, dude. that was an intense scene.
Yeah.
And an episode I loved it because it made me feel like when I was in the game, like when I was trying to play the game.
Yeah.
You get those moments where it's just like, oh fuck, like I gotta make it through this whole section here. Can I make it without alerting the clickers? And it's like fucking rough.
No, you're gonna have
it's
to fight
fucking
the
rough.
clicker.
Only one area that I made it through where there were like multiple of those giant clickers, like the big beastie ones.
The bloaters.
Yeah, the bloaters. And I just remember it was you were going through the town and the pathway was flooded and you're trying to get to the other side and you come across this one section where there's just clickers and bloaters and there's a bunch of them and I made it through the whole thing without fucking alerting a single one, and I was like, holy shit. But no, the episode really, they've been doing a great job in general of just changing things that definitely like it wouldn't that wouldn't just translate well to TV when it comes to having a show. And you can't, like, every episode can't just be them fighting their way through like it would in the game.
Right.
The game, that shit is fun because you're controlling it.
Yep.
And you have to navigate that. But on a TV show, we need that drama. We need the dialogue. We need the personalities.
Yeah.
And those are the liberties that they've been taking. Now I said that the second episode was them making it through with the clickers, and obviously we lost Tess, with the whole fucking that's where we first saw the spores, like that kiss. That shit freaked my girl out. She's like, doesn't want to watch the show because all she thinks about is that fucking the fungus coming out of the mouth, and she's
gross,
just like,
dude.
oh, that shit is gross. And then from there we got the third episode that was unexpected.
Very.
The Bill episode.
The Bill
What
and
did you
Frank
think about
episode.
it?
Dude, I didn't know what to expect. Like, before that episode aired, you had Bella Ramsey, you had Pedro Pascal, you had the fucking HBO Twitter tweeting out like, yo, y'all ain't ready for this. This shit's about to be what? Like, I was thinking, action-packed, fucking clickers, explosions, violent, like that whole thing. And when they hit us with that sort of that backstory of Bill and Frank, something that you don't get to see in the game.
Yeah.
And it was so well done and so unexpected. I mean, at least from Nick Offerman, that's not the kind of character you see him playing. You're used to your manly man Ron Swanson character with Nick Offerman. And then to see, that sort of tragic romance that was super, super unexpected, dude. Like, that episode blew me away. Like, I was super, super impressed. I wasn't mad at all that there wasn't really, a lot of action, even though that's what I was expecting. That's what I was prepared for. I think it was that much better because I wasn't expecting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what was going to come, and I just knew that it was going to be hype. I kept seeing the y'all ain't ready tweets, shit like that, and I was, when I did watch it, I was like, okay, where's this going? Like, at the beginning, and it just, it morphed into this really, really beautiful story of Bill and Frank, and just stuff that you don't get to see from the game. And I think that's where The Last of Us really shines, where other video game adaptations, whether it be to movie or TV, where they fail because they tried to, for the most part, they either try to make it too much like the game or they deviate too far from the game. And that's why people fucking hate it. But The Last of Us, bro, it has the perfect balance of that, that game feel. And also they know how to write a story. They know, the beats that need to be hit. They know how to keep us interested. And, even like in, the past episode that, we saw Joel and Ellie sort of get caught up in that little town there where the sort of the ruckus happened. And I only know this because I watched that little end piece, like how they go into like the extras after the episode ends. After the credits there. They talk about how it wasn't that. It was the New Rockstars breakdown.
Oh,
when the truck crashes and Joel starts fucking, she kills that one dude, and then hit the other dude's homie runs over and like is like, oh my God, you killed my like, you can only fucking hear them. They never zoom in on them, which is a lot like playing the game where you're Joel, you're in cover, you're fucking popping shots at somebody. You can't see what the fuck they're doing. You hear them yelling and talking. And like, that was the perfect way to like translate that to film, because it felt like the game, bro. Like, where you're in the position of Joel, like you are Joel, and you're just sort of listening, you're sort of absorbing what's around you. And I feel like they fucking nail that balance between being true to the the game, and also, you know, knowing that, hey, this is a different medium. This is not a fucking video game. Like, we have to make sure it's interesting and it's fucking, and I can't overstate how good of a job I feel like they're doing, even though, you know, Twitter and you have your critics about the gay love story and all that bullshit. But, you know, from my point of view, bro, like it's everything I could have hoped for from this show and from Neil Druckmann and everybody that's involved.
Yeah, I agree. I really enjoyed it. I did wish, I knew, not like looking back, and a lot of people are just, you know, obviously the idiots are going to be in an uproar like, oh, he wasn't gay. Yes, he was.
He was super gay.
Like, he was very gay. He referred to the man, you know, when he found him in the game, he was hanging. He referred to him as his partner. And, you know, you could take that whatever way. But then, you know, the part that was made in the truck with Ellie, they didn't make it. They didn't make that about Bill. But in the game, that was, you know, a comic or a magazine that she took from Bill's, like his collection. So. So it like there were hints there.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. I did wish that initially when watching it, I was expecting that at some point Frank was going to die, and then Bill is just, that's why he's he's the mean Bill that he's, you know, that he was in the game.
Yeah.
And then they were gonna invade or whatever, and he was gonna help them make their way through. Like I thought we were gonna see that, but when that didn't happen, it was a nice break in the tenseness of what the show is. Right. The very last episode was extremely intense as they were, you know, trying to stay quiet around the clickers and like I told you, like my girl, she like didn't even want to watch it because the little bits that she caught was just like, oh fuck. So to have that full on break and see the story of Frank and Bill and see it play out the way that it did, it was the perfect way to deviate from the story and bring in humanity into the story, where humanity in the game, humanity is just as evil as the creatures that are taking us all over, right? Because that's really the concept when it comes to these types of stories, right? When there are zombies, apocalypse, and everything. At first, it's about the outbreak and the apocalypse and the zombies or these, you know, or in this case, clickers and these creatures. Mm-hmm. That's how it starts. But then when this becomes normal life, we figure out how to kind of avoid them. And now it's, how do you survive the other humans that now have no laws? Like, they've taken the world, you know, for themselves, and how do we survive against ourselves? So that was a good breakup in that, and finding a good love story that came out from all of that, because, you know, he wanted to kill him, and he decided, like, you know, I'm gonna save this dude. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take him in, I'm gonna feed him, like whatever. When he didn't really want to, it went. Yeah, that ended up being that's the way that it went. But, you know, at first, that's not what he planned.
At first, when that story happened, like, you know, when they originally kissed, like that first kiss with Bill and Frank, I was thinking, like, at first I thought, is this dude just, you know, so lonely, so like starved for human affection that, like, the first person he saw, you know, he felt love towards, you know, like attraction.
Yeah.
But then, like, you know, they had the flashback with like Tess and and Joel there, and I'm like, oh no, this dude is very gay. Like, there's chicks out there still. Like, it's not like he's the only dude left. Like, he is a gay. And it took me a second to be like, you know, why is he doing this? Because, like I said, I wasn't expecting it to go there. So I was trying to rationalize why he kissed this dude, you know, when I first saw it. And then I was like, oh, no, he was gay. Like, that's not, he didn't become gay because he was like, he was looking for somebody. And there was this, you know, sort of debonair, suave, sort of witty man that he came across after being alone for all those years. Like, hell yeah, let's fucking pound.
And then we got past that. The little nod to the window too at the end was that was choice.
The start of the game, right? That's the
that was the pause menu. Yeah, the start menu.
Yep.
It was a nod to that, and then we got to this most latest episode. I thought there was going to be more action in this one also.
Yeah.
But again, they deviated the story to make it more to humanize these people, because we're used to playing this shoot 'em up game where you're just surviving against these people. There's no real reason as to why, other than, you know, they just want you dead for some reason.
Right.
And you're going through. So I like the fact that they deviated. They gave these people a purpose. They gave them a reason why they're looking for these people. And they're not even necessarily looking for you. They're looking for you because they think that you are tied in with this other group who is causing your people harm. And, you know, so I thought that was another nice little deviation from the original content.
Yeah.
That is much needed, because we have to remember, like, it's a TV show, and we need that drama, we need the action, we need a little bit of everything.
Yes.
To make it complete, and I like where it's going. I'm hoping we do end up having that all out, and I think we are, because they keep hinting at like this, like just the shit hitting the fan. Where there's going to be clickers, there's going to be, you know, the human element. There's going to be a lot of everything just kind of going full force. Right. And I can't wait for that to happen. I don't know if it's the next episode. I know, you know, they met up with a kid and his brother. I forget their names.
Henry and something. I forget that.
Sam? Is it Sam?
Yeah, Henry. I feel like it is Henry and Sam. Yeah.
Okay. Where they meet up with them at the very end of this last episode, and that their whole thing is dope, and I'm wondering how that ends, how close to the story that ends up being.
Right.
Because if you remember how that ended up, like, I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out, and where that gets us to in the story. So, a lot of exciting shit. I'm loving the show. I'm loving they're doing everything exactly the way they should.
I would say that this is the dopest shit HBO has put out since Watchmen.
Yeah. But it's because it's HBO, not HBO Max.
Right.
So that whole HBO Max thing confused a lot of stuff, but this is original HBO.
Yeah, this is OG HBO, Sopranos, Curb Your Enthusiasm, like that.
They did it right. It right, and they have the writers and directors of this season or of the series working with the creators of the game, and writing it as it goes along, and like saying, like, it's dope, those scenes at the end. If you're not watching the clips at the end of every episode, I suggest you go back and watch that, because it's like a good 5 minutes of just behind the scenes, and the directors talking, and, you know, with the creator of the game saying like why they went this route, and why they chose to deviate at this point, and the reasons all behind it, and it all makes sense, dude. I'm loving it. I think it's great.
Yeah, not that they owe us an explanation, but it's nice to have.
It's good to have it.
Yeah,
like I like seeing behind the scenes stuff, and like I've been slacking on like Assembled, because Disney does that now with Marvel and with Star Wars, where they have Assembled, but then that's like a whole half hour, 45 minutes of just like the whole thing.
Right.
Where it's easier to digest. At the end of the episode, you get a good 5 minutes on what you literally just saw.
It's super fresh in your dome, like you're
and you are excited to watch that, and that's a nice added bonus to that. So
word,
homie.
Episode 5 is airing early, right? Because the Super Bowl
That's
is
true.
Sunday, and then this Friday is the 10th. So February 10th will be episode 5 instead of the 12th, because it normally airs on Sundays but doesn't want to compete with the Super Bowl. So if you're listening to this episode when it drops on Thursday, tomorrow is episode 5, and it's kind of dope to watch, have an episode on a Friday where you still got the weekend, because in the back of my mind when I watch it on Sundays, I'm like, fuck, tomorrow's Monday. Yeah, that whole that whole bullshit. So it'll be nice to have a weekend ahead of you and be able to digest the episode of The Last of Us that you just saw.
Word. My friend, do you have anything to add to this stellar conversation?
Nah, baby, we're good.
All right, awesome. So then you know what that means. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you made it this far, you really fuck with us, and that means we fuck with you. Thank you. Remember to rate, review, subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever it is that you listen to your podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube, please remember to hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment on the episode. Tell us what you loved or hated about it, or tell us that our takes were horrible. It doesn't really matter. Just leave us some comments. We'll reply back. And remember, if you want to cop some gear and stay fresh like we do, stay drippy with Drippy, go to insensitivemerch.com. Cop that gear. Again, thank you so much for listening. We love you. Peace.